As Holland business Friend V unveils its newest flyer car, Gyrocopter, at the Geneva Engine Show, we ask if the vision of flyer cars for all could always be a fact. 007 was there, says the graffiti emblazoned on the side of Friend V's stay at the Geneva Engine Show. Under it sits a create James Ties would surely be pride of. The Holland business has fair startup its at first flyer car onto the marketplace. He's a small three-wheeler, that it says can propose sports productivity on the way, later get to the air with a set of flexible rotors. So is the Amark how air journey is on to get a entire lot more than available, or will devices love the never be more than rather than playthings for the wealthy? The car is named the Freedom. In flyer regulation, it is which's named as an automatically gyro, or gyrocopter. In some speech, it has chopper-like blades how turn easily in procedure to produce raise, time force is stipulated by 2 100 HP engines, via a individual prop at the behind. James Ties, aka 007, flew things such in the movie You Just Dwell 2 times, a waitress evasion named Slight Nelly, and the business is obviously rather lucky in the compare. But the Freedom is greater, more than luxury, and it can as well be utilized on the way. That tool it is no common gyroplane. It can use one of its 2 engines to driving at up to 99 mph, 160 km/h, on the land, authorizing the airman to driving direct of the lane to his or her purpose. The open secret to making the efficaciously, the business says, is technique how allows the car to inclination in corners and stay steady, in spite its 3-wheel style. It is the usability how Friend V thinks will be Freedom's major marketing spot. He's the disappointment of General Aircraft, says head execution Robert Dingemans. In a little aircraft or a chopper you get off of a location you don't wish to keep of, and end up in a location you don't very wish to be. Yet if you driving, you can begin at yours parking garage doorway, later go direct to the location you wish to be, and house, which we propose, 3D portability. But a gyrocopter style has its drawbacks, argues Professor Harry Host Provider, Chief of Lancaster College's Power Study Center. Gyrocopters can earth in a really little region, in comparison with regular helicopter, he says, yet they requirement a bit of striker pulse up they can get away, so they wouldn't be capable to use chopper earpads on the top of buildings, for sample, or you would include issues in tightly inhabited areas, he adds, since the rotors would requirement a big range of complementary area. Sound would as well be in question in city areas, Professor Host Provider believes. Friend V isn't the just business hard to do a business successful out of a flyer vehicle. Other include undertaken a various attitude, choice for flat or folding fender designs. US-based Terrafugia, for sample, that was newly purchased by Volvo's China proprietor Geely, has advanced a flyer car whose flap and spire stack up carefully following flying. The gasoline-powered car, that can journey at 70 mph 113 km/h on the way and 100 mph in the airborne, meets all of the regulation for aviation and cars in the joint state, says Mr. Jaron. Company founders Anna and Carl Dietrich expect their handicraft will give the sight of private aircraft for the rank a slight nearer. But at about $280,000, £200 to £1,000, how's barely a massive market cost. And the requirement to driving to an aeroport to fly the item is else main disadvantage, one the business acknowledges. So it is work on a new release, the TFX, showing propellers how can inclination above for vertically raise off, later inclination down for striker traction. Later down there's Slovakian company Aeromobile. It has advanced a car in Inspire how swinging behind neatly over the Kubrick following flying. It uses electrical force on the way and a petrol motor in the airborne. You're for a simple $860,000. Nickname Worth, engineering CEO at Worth Study, a expert race car and hum planner, thinks how regulatory is the flyer vehicle's largest barrier, not technique. Regulation cover airworthiness include been advanced above 100 year, so it conducted year of job to get thing purified for use by flying. Breaking in an plane is normally a lot more than severe rather than breaking in a vehicle, he says. He's a enormous distinction possession and operational a car to possession and operational and plane. Present regulating regimes about the planet need flyer car owners to include a airman's license, else capacity obstacle to massive acceptance. Same issue is how you end up in a food how as necessary, so lot mechanical engineering and regulatory about it you end up in thing how's extremely costly, says Mr. Worth. Is down there a marketplace for the? Down there might be, but he's departure to be diminutive. And draft recite, vice text editor of Space, the King Aviation Community's ammunition depot, says, if you include lot of them thou'll include the counterpart of antenna traffic jams, so thou include to include air lobby, particular heights they must fly at, and some rules for flyer above cities. I believe independent sky taxis stay more than of a opportunity of reaching regulating adoption rather than flyer cars. Mr. Dingemans says the Friend v Freedom has been intended of the land up to perform in aircraft and way security regulation. But love its capacity rivals, it doesn't go inexpensive. An original bounded publication pattern will price €500,000, £450,000, time the norm release will yet set you behind €300,000, £270,000. The business hopes to sail on 1,000 plane a year. But so distant, it hasn't sold out any to spies.